Hello, welcome to Noms. This video is a side dish. I always find it's really annoying when I'm making something, I know what I'm doing for my main aspects of the meal, and I'm like, what am I gonna have on the side? And I can never find just like side dishes to go along. So today, just some potatoes. Some potatoes that you can put on the side of anything else that you're making. Potatoes are a pretty simple thing to make, you know, put them in water, boil them, take them out, done. But I am going to do something with these, but just make it a little bit more impressive, have a little bit of flavour and interest to the potatoes themselves, just by tossing them in an infused oil. In my case, the infused oil has two spices in it, nigella seeds, which give like a charred onion kind of taste, and cumin, that give like an earthy, warming flavour, and together they go together very well. You can take the theory of this and use any other spices you want to create a spiced infused oil and toss potatoes in that to complement whatever else you're making. If you want to see more videos like this of just side dishes and things like that, give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see that and I'll be like, cool, side dishes, that's what everyone's looking for. To make this, it's a fairly simple set of ingredients. You'll need your potatoes, some salt, some vinegar, your cumin and your nigella seeds, and a neutral oil. I believe that's everything. I really hope that's everything. So, the method. First, peel your potatoes. While you're peeling them, also cut them into evenly sized pieces to make sure that they all cook evenly while they're boiling. I actually save the peels from when I peel my potatoes and use them in any stocks that I make in the future. So actually I used this to make a vegan beef stock a little bit later in the week. Once you've peeled your potatoes, pop them in a pan of cold water, and then add a bunch of salt to the water. You want it to taste a little bit salty because that will season the potatoes. Then also some vinegar. I'm using apple cider vinegar. The vinegar's there because it causes a light film to form around the outside of the potato, which means that later when you toss these potatoes in the infused oil, they don't break apart, they still maintain their round shapes. Also, the vinegar adds a little bit of pop to the flavour. In general, when you're cooking and you're like, this doesn't taste quite right, you can try adding just like a teaspoon of vinegar and it should brighten up the flavours of everything a little bit. Put the potatoes on to boil, and you want to boil them until they're fork tender, meaning you can put a fork into them and pull it out and there's very little resistance. While the potatoes are boiling, take a pan and put it on a medium heat, and then add your nigella seeds and your cumin into the pan just to toast them a little bit to develop some toasty flavours in them. You want to toast the spices until the aromas from them come up and hit your nose and you can smell them strongly. Once they're toasted, put the spices in a spice grinder, or if you're old-fashioned, you can just use a pestle and mortar and grind them finely. Once they're finely ground, put about 2 tablespoons of your neutral oil back into the pan, lower the heat to low, and then add the spices to the oil. You just want the flavours of the spices to seep out and infuse into the warm oil. Leave that there until the potatoes are done. Once your potatoes are done, drain them off, then take your spice-infused oil and drizzle it over the potatoes and give them a little toss, making sure they're evenly covered. If you've ground the spices finely enough, you don't need to worry about draining out the spice solids from the oil, but if you've used a pestle or mortar and there's big chunks in there, you might want to strain the oil before you toss the potatoes in it. And then with that, you have some nicely spiced potatoes. They just add a little bit of interesting flavour to something that you could just boil and do simply, but sometimes you want to be a little bit more interesting on your plate. If you enjoyed, remember, hit the like button, subscribe. If you tried this out with any other spices, drop a comment below and let me know what you did. And with that, I will see you all next time.